Hello, my name is Bryce, and this is my channel, Striving Intellect. And today we're going to talk about possible life on Saturn's largest moon, Titan. And I actually have a video pulled up by the NASA YouTube channel, and we're just going to look through that real quick. Titan, larger than the planet Mercury. This mammoth moon of Saturn sports a lot of special qualities. Titan is the only place besides Earth known to have liquids on its surface. Rivers, lakes, seas, not of liquid water, but liquid hydrocarbons like methane and ethane, all sprinkle the surface of the frigid world. High-flying clouds give way to rains that pour back onto the surface just like on Earth. In Titan's substantial atmosphere, nitrogen and methane react to produce a wealth of organic molecules. Deep beneath Titan's thick crust lies a massive liquid water ocean where life as we know it could exist. Its surface lakes and seas of liquid nitrocarbons might be home to life as we don't know it. Soon we will learn more about the rich organic moon. Dragonfly, NASA's new astrobiology mission, will take to the skies of Titan when it arrives in 2034. Flying dozens of promising sites, sampling and examining this fascinating world, and advancing our search for the building blocks of life in the universe. Very cool, very cool. Those are some really awesome visualizations. I believe the mission to Titan is actually going to land in about 9 years from now. It's 2025 this year, so 2034 would be about 9 years, give or take. Here is a 3D rendering of one of the Firefly drones. Very cool, very cool. And here is a NASA article just kind of going over the drone program that they have, Firefly drones. I'll give that a quick read real quick. NASA Dragonfly Robocraft mission to Saturn's moon, Titan confirmed. And this was written on April 16, 2024, so about a year ago. Looks like it's going to take them about 10 years or so to get there when everything's said and done. But let me go through this real quick. NASA has confirmed its Dragonfly Robocraft mission to Saturn's organic-rich moon, Titan. The decision allows the mission to progress to completion of final design, followed by the construction and testing of the entire spacecraft and science instruments. Dragonfly is a spectacular science mission with broad community interest, and we are excited to take the next step on this mission, said Nick Fox, Associate Administrator, Science Mission Directorate at NASA headquarters in Washington. Exploring Titan will push the boundaries of what we can do with Robocraft outside of Earth. In early 2023, the mission successfully passed all the success criteria of its preliminary design review. At that time, however, the mission was asked to develop an updated budget and schedule to fit into the current funding environment. This updated plan was represented and conditionally approved in November 2023, pending the outcome of the fiscal year 2025 budget process. In the meantime, the mission was authorized to proceed with work on final mission design and fabrications to ensure the mission stayed on schedule. We're just going to jump ahead a little bit. The Robocraft, targeted to arrive on Titan in 2034, will fly to dozens of promising locations on the moon, looking for prebiotic chemical processes common to both Titan and early Earth before life developed. Dragonfly marks the first time NASA will fly a vehicle for science on another planetary body. The Robocraft has 8 rotors and flies like a large drone. Dragonfly is being designed and built under the direction of Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory in Laurel, Maryland, which manages the mission for NASA. Awesome. That is really interesting stuff. So I guess in 2034, we'll have a good picture of what is actually on the moons of Saturn, Titan, specifically. But recently, there's been some speculation as to whether or not there is actual life on Titan. And I think that's a really interesting thing to debate. Obviously, we're going to have more concrete proof once this mission actually gets there and sends data back. But recently, there's been a couple articles written about whether or not there is actual life on Saturn, or Saturn's moon Titan, sorry. So I'll just go through this a little bit. Saturn's icy moon Titan, long considered one of the most promising places to find alien life, may only be capable of supporting tiny populations of simple microbes, according to new international research. The large moon has topography that is utterly alien compared to Earth, featuring bodies of liquid methane, soot-like dunes, and boulders of ice. The question of what might have been living beneath Titan's thick atmospheric haze intrigues astrobiologists. Antonin Affolter of University of Arizona and Pete Higgins of Harvard University are leading a study to predict what kind of life may exist on Titan, where it might be found, and how much there could be. Titan holds limited life support capabilities. In our studies, we focus on what makes Titan unique when compared to other icy moons. It's plentiful organic content. Titan's massive subsurface ocean, concealed beneath a frozen crust, is estimated to be as deep as 300 miles. Whoa. After completing their bioenergetic modeling, the research team concluded that the ocean could only sustain a small number of simple microorganisms, amounting to no more than a few pounds of biomass total. NASA's upcoming Dragonfly mission will explore the moon, hoping that Titan's rich organic chemistry will offer clues to life. However, Affolter suggests that current expectations may be overly optimistic, as many estimates are based on overly simplistic assumptions. There's been this sense that because Titan is such an abundant organic, such abundant organics, there is no shortage of food sources that could sustain life. We point out that not all of these organic molecules may constitute food sources. The ocean is really big, and there's limited exchange between the ocean and the surface, where all those organics are. So we argue for a more nuanced approach. The team centered their analysis on fermentation, one of Earth's simplest metabolic pathways. Unlike respiration, fermentation does not require oxygen. Scientists believe fermentation emerged early in Earth's history, enabling primitive organisms to survive by feeding on residual organic molecules from the planet's formation. But modeling such a basic metabolic process, the researchers aim to avoid speculating about unknown biochemistries that might occur on Titan. We asked, could similar microbes exist on Titan? If so, what potential does Titan's subsurface ocean have for the biosphere, feeding off of the seemingly vast inventories of abiotic organic molecules synthesized on Titan's atmosphere, accumulating at its surface and present in its core? To further simplify, the team focus on glycine, the simplest known amino acid. We know that glycine was relatively abundant in any sort of primordial matter in the solar system. When you look at asteroids, comets, the clouds of particles and gas from which stars and planets like our solar system form, we find glycine or its precursors in pretty much all of those places. A challenging environment for life. The team's simulation suggests that only a tiny fraction of Titan's organic material could sustain microbial life. In prior works, the researchers showed that meteorite impacts could create melt pools on Titan's surface, allowing materials like glycine to sink through the ice and reach the ocean. That scenario would leave hypothetical microbes dependent on occasional infusions of nutrients from above. Our new study shows that this supply may only be sufficient to sustain a small population of microbes weighing a total of only a few kilograms at most, equivalent to the mass of a small dog. Wow. Such a tiny biosphere would average less than 1 cell per liter of water over Titan's entire surface. Oh, wow. It's definitely not a lot. However, surface organic materials may not contribute meaningfully to life unless they appear in the subsurface environment, so in the ocean below. We conclude that Titan's uniquely rich organic environment may not, in fact, be available to play the role in the moon's habitability to extend, one might initiatively think. I mean, it's interesting that they're kind of going over this. This is actually the paper that they were talking about. I mean, it's from the University of Arizona, it looks like. If anything, it's amazing that we're able to send drones there to actually see for ourselves, or with our Firefly drones, robocraft, or rotorcraft, I guess is what it would be called. I mean, it's fascinating, at the very least, that we're willing to actually go as far as to send teams of small drones to actually check it out. It would be amazing if they did find, a seemingly decent amount of anything that would be considered as life. If not, it's always cool to check out alien environments like this. It's a moon that's all the way frozen over, that has giant lakes and rivers on the surface of methane and ethane, which would theoretically be deadly for us. Obviously, we can't breathe that stuff in or be in it really at all. And water underneath its 300-mile thick frozen crust, which is just amazing. It would be really awesome if there was alien life, but that being said, it's still cool to actually check out the different planets and moons of the different planets in our own solar system. But that's all. I thought that was really interesting. If you guys liked it, please like and subscribe. Thank you.